Well, hello there. My name is Drew, and if we haven't met before, welcome to ReadyBudgetGo. If this isn't your first time visiting my channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here either way. This video is going to be for my June budget. This budget looks a lot different from the ones that have come before it. The big move is behind us, or it's behind me anyway, and I didn't do a May budget, so now it's time to get back on track. This month I already put my budget together because some of the numbers are kind of squishy. And I'll go over that, but I also want to talk about the process of how I prepare my budget, right? So when I'm creating a new budget, there are three different things that I look at. One, I look at the year before budget, and I have that here. This normally lives in my budget binder. In fact, if I go to that section, you can see I have all of the old budgets from, let's see, July. Okay, so I had June, I took that out. July, flip a few pages, here's October, here's January, here's February. So I keep all of my old budgets for a year, and that's so I can refer back to it when I'm setting up the budget for the same month the following year. So this is my June 2025 budget that I reference. I also reference the month ago budget, and that for me is April, and I think I already put April back in here. Yep, I did. So this was last month's budget. And then the third thing that I look at is my bills and subscriptions page. I couldn't read my own writing there. So I have my yearly subscription tracker. So this will tell me everything that I expect to come out and when it's going to come out and whether I've decided that I'm going to keep it or cancel it. I also have my monthly subscriptions, but these just live in the budget. Mostly it's the yearly subscriptions that I'm interested in here, and also any non-monthly recurring expenses. So prescriptions, haircuts, and Orca card. Now, because I've moved out of the Pacific Northwest, I no longer need to worry about the Orca card, and haircuts and prescriptions I'll have to maybe get on a different schedule. We'll see. But the yearly subscription tracker, every time that I budget for a month, I look to see if I have anything coming up for renewal. Now, as it happens, in June of 2025, I had Canva Pro come out for $120, but this was a business expense. It went into the personal budget last year because I didn't plan for it as a business expense, and it hit the personal credit card, so I had to add it in here as a separate thing. But this year, it's a business expense, so it's not going to show up on my budget for June 2026, but this is why I keep the last year's budget. Another reason to keep the last year's budget is because when I do the month-end review and I review everything that happened in the month, I can see whether I overspent or whether I had additional leftovers. Anything that I noted for improvement, separate business expenses because of the Canva Pro subscription, that was a note I made to myself, and have more money set aside for Prime Day. So I have sinking funds, the money's available this year. I didn't quite set up a sinking fund for that, and I will do that at some point. I need to rejigger all of my sinking funds, but for now, I think I'm set. So that's the June budget from last year. And then from the April budget, and again, I'm referencing April because I didn't do one for May. Deliberately did not do a budget for May. So what I divined from looking at this is that the renter's insurance payment came out on the 1st for $18. This renter's insurance is for my old apartment, and I actually paid that $18 in May as well, even though I was out, because I didn't cancel it in time. So ended up paying to insure an apartment that was empty and that I didn't live in, or maybe it's already been re-rented, who knows. So I canceled that, or I'm in the process of canceling that now, but that is what came out of looking at the April budget. And then talking about subscriptions, go over here. So there wasn't anything for June. I had an annual fee come out in May that was paid. Instacart Plus and Costco are both due to renew in August, and I did decide to cancel those. So I started the cancellation process. I canceled Instacart Plus. Costco, I can't cancel, or I can't stop the auto renewal until May 31st for some reason, but it's on my to-do list at any rate. Okay, so that is looking backward. Now let's look forward And let's talk about the June budget. So, move this over a little bit. This June budget involves a lot of guesswork. I don't know what my paychecks are going to be. I had one paycheck at the middle of May, and that paycheck did not have Ohio taxes taken out. It still had Washington taxes taken out. So I don't really have a good gauge for how much my paychecks will be anymore. So I'm guessing at $3,000. Cell phone reimbursement should be the same at $100, so $6,100 in projected income. Bills, this list got real short. So rent is $1,764. Utilities, I'm guessing at $150. I'm guessing high. I don't know what they will be. I don't know if I will even have a utility bill this month. So I'm just budgeting $150. iCloud for $3, YouTube Premium for $16. I'm hoping YouTube Premium will go down now that I am living in a different state with different sales tax. Hopefully that goes down, but we'll see. And it won't go down significantly, just a little bit, maybe $1. Electric, again, I don't know if I'm getting a bill. I don't know how much it's going to be. I've budgeted $50, we'll see. Spectrum, $50, that is home internet. And Visible, which is my cell phone plan, $35. So that makes the total bills $2,068, so that is what I've put down here. Wallet spending, this is what I give myself every week. Based on what I've been spending so far, I think I can keep groceries, restaurants, and miscellaneous incidentals down to $200-ish per week, and I'm giving myself $25 in cash. I had been giving myself $50 in cash. I want to try to bring that down a little bit so I can put more into long-term savings. So $900, there are 4 Fridays in June, and my budget weeks run from Friday through Thursday, so that's where I got to $900, and that is down here. Stockpiles, $100 a week. My Monday videos for game night will be returning, so $500 for that for the month of June because there are 5 Mondays. And then savings and extra debt. I don't have any debt, so this is just savings. This is by Tuesday, $500 a week, 5 Tuesdays in June, $2,500. Now, every month I have a different goal that I work toward, or sometimes it's more than one if I'm expecting to finish a goal and then start a new one, or if I have 2 separate things going on at the same time that both need attention, and that is what the next sheet is for. So this is cash allocation. For my wallet spending, I'm expecting $200 on the credit card every week, $25 in cash. And I don't carry balances on my credit cards. I pay them off every month, usually multiple times per month, just to ensure I don't get any late payments or any interest or anything like that. Now, the right side is stockpiles, which are sinking funds, but I've crossed that out and put in savings because that is what I'm working on this month. I have decided that my blip fund is going to be my next goal. Now, if you don't know what a blip fund is, let me flip over to that real quick. So a blip fund, here's the tracker. Blip stands for break lock if prompted, and I am doing 167 per segment, so total of about 2,400, 2,500. I had this fully funded once at 2,400, and now I am starting over. It's got 100 in there so far, and I need to build this back up. So that is going to be my next goal. And how I decide my goals, let me flip back to the front real quick. I made these goals last year, and I just added another one, so I'll talk about that in a minute. ReadyBudgetGo seated at $2,500. This means that this is for my business account and that I have sufficient cash flow on hand to manage expenses. That keeps dipping just because businesses have expenses. So I need to get that back up and get it sustained before I can check that off. Emergency fund fully funded at $15,000. I completed that back in March. The big move fully funded at $15,000. I completed that May 1st. Now, I did not actually fund $15,000, but the big move is over and done with, and any other expenses that I have are just going to have to be cash flowed or come out of sinking funds or whatever. I'm no longer creating a separate savings category for that. Contribute full $7,500 to Roth IRA. I will talk about how I'm going to do this in a little bit. Then we have the blip fund, fully funded at $2,000. I think that's going to be a bigger number, $2,500, somewhere around there. All sinking funds fully funded by end of year. We'll see if we get there. And then contribute the full $24,500 to 401k. So right now I contribute about 12%, I think, maybe 13%. And I want to raise that so that by the end of the year, I've contributed the most that I can to that account. So, okay. Let's talk about, let's go back to, rather, the June budget. So we talked about stockpiles, we talked about savings and extra debt. Now, the reason that I prioritized the blip fund this month is that I don't know if these numbers are real. I don't know if these numbers are real. I don't know if other things are going to come in. So by prioritizing the blip fund, if I need more money for bills, if my paychecks are shorter, I can just take from here and move that goal of fully funding the blip fund into July. That's okay. It gives me the flexibility to have that money available to take for other things if I need it, or to make up for a shortfall in income. So that is why I chose to prioritize the blip fund. The next goal after that is going to be the Roth IRA. And let me talk about how I'm going to fund that. So let me just set this aside for a moment. So this is my Sloth IRA tracker. If you like this, you can get this on, I think it's on Etsy. It might be on Ko-fi. Both of them are linked down below. So this Sloth IRA tracker, the maximum contribution this year is $7,500 for those of us who are under age 50. If you are 50 or older, the maximum contribution is $8,600, I believe. And if you need that tracker, there is another one that has that version where it's the higher amount. And you get both when you purchase the downloadable. And then, let me see, there it is. Okay, so this is how I'm going to fund my Roth IRA. Not all of it, but some of it. I started this monetization tracker as a way to save up for the big move. As it turns out, I didn't need this money, so it's available, and I am going to put it toward my Roth IRA. So I am at 983 subscribers as of when I'm recording this. When I get to 1,000, the way I'm saving at $5 per subscriber, I will have $5,000. That $5,000 is going straight into the Roth IRA. And then I will need to top that up with $2,500 that I will put into my monthly savings targets later on in the year. So that is how I'm going to use the money that I've been saving up all year. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love it if you would. I will save $5 if you do. And then I'm going to pull out the Big Move books because I spent all this money. So this I don't need anymore. And then we already talked about the Sloth IRA. So let's go back to the June budget. So we talked about all these different categories. We talked about the cash allocation. The other things that I print out each month is a cash flow tracker, and this is basically a check register. So this, I keep track of everything that goes on in my checking account. I didn't do one for May, so I'm just watching my checking account every day, making sure that everything that comes through is a transaction that I recognize. Then the monthly expense tracker, so anything that I put on a credit card, I will note in here. And then, of course, we have the month-end review. So if you like these trackers, these and others are also available on my Etsy shop as a bundle. So I'm going to put this into the budget binder where it belongs, which is right up here, front and center after the goals. Okay, so that's done. One other goal that I have thought about adding, and I might just as a stretch goal, is to have another $7,500 set aside so that for 2027, I can fund my Roth IRA. I might even set that goal at 8,000 and just fund it early in the year and then work in 2027 towards saving up for my 2028 contribution and try to get a year ahead for Roth IRA. I'm not sure if I'll do that or not, just because I'm not sure if I'll have the money, but I might just put it in as a stretch goal. We'll see. Okay, so that is all that I have for setting up my monthly budget. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will get back on track with videos, especially once the calendar rolls over to June. I will have Monday videos for Ready Budget Game for saving toward my stockpiles, or stockpiling cash toward my stockpiles. Tuesdays will be the Batman binder. Wednesdays, I am changing from My Money Relaunch to Friends Day. So I will have budgeting games and challenges and whatnot that I've purchased from other people in the community. And that will be the Wednesday video. So a little bit of a change. Thursday, of course, is the Treasure Island Pirate Savings Collab and Happy Mail Jail. Fridays will be the budget recap for the week. And then any special videos like a budget with me or anything else that comes up will probably drop on the weekends. Etsy launches, things like that. Speaking of Etsy, my shop is reopened with physical products and digitals. There's a few listings that I still need to get back up, but most of them are there. Link is down in the description. Thank you to everyone who supports me over there. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll save money if you do. And until I see you in the next one, take care.